Hi, and welcome back to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel, and we're here at MetroEast Community Media in Gresham, Oregon. Tonight, we're going to be talking with Asha Aiello, and you are from Irco. Nice to have you here, Asha.
Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, you bet. Now, Irco, for those who don't know, is an immigrant and refugee community organization?
Correct.
Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Nailed
Thank
on
you.
the first try.
Okay, and Irco's been around for how long?
When I came on about 3 years ago, they just celebrated their 35th anniversary.
Wow,
So 38 years
been
this
that
year.
long.
Yeah.
This is our 30th year, but 30,
Oh, wow.
you passed us up. I knew it had been a long time. So for those who may not know, may not have had a reason to know what Irco is about, can you give us just a brief history of what the organization was founded for, what the mission is?
The general mission of Irco is to integrate refugees and immigrants and the community at large also into a multi-ethnic society, along with self-sufficiency and health, just trying to make a full, really well-organized, holistic society that's multi-ethnic.
Well, everybody needs that, but when you come from another country and maybe you don't have a clue how things are done here, Irco's a great place to start, right? I mean, so how do people find out about you? How do they find out?
A lot of word of mouth through the communities. So Irco's kind of bread and butter, if you will say, is employment. What we do is that's really what we chose to focus on. There's so many great organizations that do the same type of work. And so they all got together about 30 odd years ago and said, let's figure out what we're each best at. Irco started with employment. So we have some really robust, exciting employment opportunities for people that have just been here for a year. And then we will follow them up to, I think it's about 5 or 6 years, and really
so that's some good support.
Exactly, but it's not just about the employment, it's about helping them integrate. So there's family strengthening, there's elder care, there's youth employment services, of course, but then there's also small child and domestic violence intervention, and just really a holistic service kind of menu.
That's great, and so if people need some help, if they've come here and they don't know where to go, you have access to a lot of resources.
Absolutely.
Is that right?
And we also work really closely with other agencies to make sure that the person is getting kind of the full menu. So if we can't directly help them with X, we will refer them to someone else.
That's right. Now, if I remember correctly, Irco has translators in like every language imaginable.
Most of them, yes.
So is that right? Do you know how many different languages do you think?
I think at last check, we actually speak, I believe, over 100 different languages at Irco alone.
That's amazing.
The International Language Bank translates it's a fee for service, but we will translate pretty much anything. And so we are always looking for kind of the niche languages. So if there's a smaller community, exactly. So we're always looking for translators. In fact, we're hiring for translators right now.
Really? Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Absolutely.
If somebody's looking for a job, and it's somebody that has come, as an immigrant from another country and has retained that language and maybe has assimilated themselves very well into this society. Hey, what a great job,
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's kind of a good way to give back too.
It is, and we find that a lot of our employees are immigrants and refugees that have come back. They want to give back. They want to continue to support their community and help that transition be as easy as possible.
Now you at Irco are the program manager for something called SummerWorks.
I am.
Tell us what SummerWorks is.
SummerWorks is a youth employment program for youth that are really looking for their first job. We target it towards youth of color, low income. The unique part about my specific program at Irco is I'm lucky enough to work with all of Multnomah and Washington County, not just immigrant and refugee youth. In the summertime, on March 30th, in fact, we will open up the applications at worksystems.org, and that will be the application process for youth that are 16 to 21 in Multnomah County and Washington County. And so any youth looking for a summer job can apply.
So that's the only requirement? Is they're looking for a summer job, or are there other criteria?
Not particularly.
They just have to be Multnomah and Washington County.
Yeah, they have to be a Multnomah County or Washington County resident. We are targeting youth that maybe don't have those networks, right? So youth that...
If you can get a job easily...
Exactly.
Let somebody else use your services.
Absolutely, and that's really what it targets. The crazy thing is youth employment, even though we've just come out of one of the worst recessions in U.S. history, youth employment's still declining.
Really?
It is. So those places that we used to think of, if you go into your local grocery store, the people that are doing stocking, or your local coffee shop used to go to youth of this age group.
Not
no
so
longer. It's now master's candidates that can't find a job in their field.
That's kind of depressing. I know
It's very depressing.
whenever people apply for jobs now, which is a full-time job to apply for a job, a lot of times to weed out people that say, okay, unless you have a degree, boom, I'm not going to even look at it, and it just goes down the line. Okay, you don't have this, and so a kid starting out, no experience,
Right.
maybe no contacts, nothing to recommend them. That's pretty tough.
It is, and so our program specifically, SummerWorks, is a program of Work Systems Inc., which is why I said the application will be open on worksystems.org. But the exciting part for us is that even though youth employment has dropped from 44 to 26% in the last 10 years, this program is a public-private partnership. It's not just the public coming to the table and saying, oh, Multnomah County will sponsor some slots, and the city of Portland or Washington County. It's companies like Boeing, companies that, in fact, earlier tonight, I believe you had Breast Friends on. They were also one of our summer work sites and hosted an intern as well. So it's nonprofit, small business, large business, and we're just really excited to be able to host interns in real work.
I'm gonna have to make a note of this. So if a business, nonprofit, whatever, was interested in, and they needed somebody for the summertime to help them out, they go to that same website, or
they could go to worksystems.org. We also have information on Irco.org, and that's got our contact information. Really, all they need to do is give me a call, or my colleague who wasn't able to be here tonight, Reese, give him a call, and we're able to engage, and we can give them all the. We try to make it really easy for businesses. We
encourage them to do so.
Well, we act as employer of record. We also, it's an opportunity for them to train frontline staff. So staff that maybe don't get to supervise on a regular basis, that's an opportunity for them to build skills.
Yeah, some leadership training there.
And we also work with businesses to identify real work that needs to be done. So a really common thing is like office projects or maintenance and landscaping. Boeing, who I mentioned earlier.
Projects specifically is kind of the key word. That is, not the ongoing day-to-day stuff so much as something that you can get done in the summer.
Exactly. A lot of places, big and small, don't have the capacity to go, gosh, I really need to get that project done.
Right.
But who am I going to have dedicated to do that? So this is a good opportunity, and the youth get real work. The company gets real work done, and additionally, the youth now have, I did X over the summer.
I have something on my resume, and I have a reference.
Yeah.
If they did a good job, most businesses would be more than happy to give them a good, recommendation, I would imagine.
They really are. In fact, over 90% of our SummerWorks businesses last year said they would do it again or recommend it to their colleagues and business partners.
That's very good. So when youth contacts you and they want to get involved and they want to get a job, what's the next step? What do they do?
So we have, actually last year we had 2,000 applicants for about 600 positions.
Ooh, that's tough.
It really was tough. And so the first process is that once they should really connect with their high school counselor or community-based organization that they go to and say, hey, I'm really interested in SummerWorks. And so once they do get referred to us, they'll go through work readiness training, which is something else that we offer as a value-add service.
If you do any kind of helping them get into that marketplace.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, the training that we're using this year is it's new. It's called Workplace Excellence, and it was vetted by employers. That was a workforce investment board on the East Coast that worked with a private company to vet what real employers really want today.
And what do employers really want? Do you know what's the main thing people you think are looking for?
They want people that are willing to learn, that are flexible, and that will do the basics. You will hear employers time and time again say, I can train for hard skills, I can train to do the technology, but I need somebody that's got a great attitude and will show up every day on time.
And I totally agree with that. Our most recent hire here, Atsity, who is our executive assistant, we interviewed her, said, we want somebody who is going to be, when we ask you to do something, you pitch in, because we all kind of pitch in here. It's like, we have an event, okay, you're okay with washing the dishes, or you're okay
absolutely.
with doing the data entry, or maybe you'll have to go on camera. It could be anything, and that willingness and that flexibility. Fortunately, she's great, so it was a good choice. But that is a really important thing.
They also want the youth or whoever their new workers are to understand not only just what the company does, but how that they bring value to the company. So, if you're a private sector employer, maybe you're mid-sized to small business, you wear a lot of hats. That's really exciting for our youth to be in those opportunities. But they have to also come with the willingness and flexibility and the understanding that I'm earning a wage, but you there's a return on investment
Right,
there. I need
right.
real work done. I need a good attitude. I need you to understand what you bring to my company, even if it is for just a small internship.
Yeah, but that's important. I mean, everybody wins on those, if everybody puts into it what they need to. So,
Yeah.
Do you have the businesses that you've worked with? Do they go through any kind of training or orientation before people are hired?
So that's, again, one of the other value adds that we offer is that to back up just a second, a student goes through work readiness training, then they have to go through an orientation because they have to be legal to work. And then at that point, we match for skills and we match for interests. So, some
Do you have to
businesses,
do some analyzing, interviewing,
there's
that kind of
a
thing?
lot of analysis
Testing?
involved.
Testing?
Not a lot of testing. This is the youth's first job, and a lot of them have a variety of skill sets, and so we don't want to put more barriers in their way. They do have to be willing and committed to want to work. So at that point, we screen them, we train them, and then we match them. So on the business side, we actually assign what's called a summer work specialist or job coach during the summer to not just work with the youth, but also to work with the employer. It's really important for those employers that are so excited about helping youth, but maybe haven't done it before.
Yeah, they may not know exactly how to proceed.
Yeah, we will help them build a position description. We will explain the employer record services that we offer. We also lower the risk management and hiring process by taking on that employer of record, so the payroll services, the workers' compensation.
Make it easy.
We
I mean,
really
that
do.
does make it easy.
And so we'll work with them every step of the way. Now, if we want them to see a youth that's ready to work, but sometimes those youth come with different circumstances. So we help mitigate those on our end. We're able to provide transportation, some basic clothing that's work appropriate, and then for the employer, it's if there are situations that come up that they haven't dealt with before. So, well, the youth was late, but I really want to give them a chance. I haven't had that conversation. I've had it with my employee, which might be a little different with an intern.
Yeah, that would be, sometimes things could get awkward
Yep.
and, hard to know how to proceed. So there you are.
Yeah, so they go through, supervisors go through an orientation, and then we have, through the duration of the internship, an actual job coach that will work with them when necessary. Things might go exceptionally well, and they do, presentations, or they're doing, all kinds of exciting stuff, or things might need a little bit of help to make sure that they're smoothed out. Could be a difficult conversation.
Anything. It could be anything.
Really anything.
I think you brought some pictures, I think, correct?
Yes, I
and
did.
I don't know if they've shown those yet or not, and if they haven't, we should take a look at them, because we are almost out of time already. I know it goes very fast here, but so if people are interested, just go to the website.
Yes.
It's either as a business or
A youth.
And if you get more, and this is the picture that you have. Now,
Yes.
who is this fine young gentleman?
This young gentleman who wants to be an engineer is Israel Hammond. And
He's already got the hat.
He does. He worked at the Portland Water Bureau last summer and was
nice.
able to see what the engineers there did. And so you can see him here. It's actually at one of the Water Bureau sites with the city of Portland.
So he was successful.
Very.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Before we run out of time, the businesses, do you follow up with them afterwards and get feedback?
Yes, in fact, so we do a supervisor evaluation of the youth, and then we issue a survey to them to provide feedback. We have improved our program so much based just on that feedback.
I can imagine.
And
If
so
you pay attention to it, then you would.
Absolutely, and so evaluation is really important. We always want to improve.
Good. And my last question is, if you had more businesses willing to do this, would you be able to serve more people?
Yes, the more businesses, especially in the private sector, public is great. It's great to have counties and cities on board. It's really exciting.
Nonprofits?
Yes, absolutely. But we were looking for small to mid-sized businesses and nonprofits, because the more businesses, it also, one of the number one concerns of the area is the actual youth workers and the cessation gap. So the more businesses that come on board, the more that are employing and training our workforce.
Great, good deal. Thank you so much,
Thank
Asha.
you, Monica.
That's a great service. I had no idea that existed, so thanks a lot.
Thank you.
If you have youth that are looking for a job this summer, this is one place you may want to start, especially if they have no other options as to how to go about and getting that job. And Irco has just a world of services, so do check out their website. We should have the information on the screen. I'm Monica Weitzel. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's show. We'll see you next week.
What local community media is to us is literally our lifeline to what's going on in the lives around us.
The absolute most important thing that happens in your neighborhood.
People's local communities are usually what's most important to them.
Because we're the faces, the smiles, the peoples, and the personalities of the community.
To not only give people a voice, but to have their voice heard.
Have you ever wanted to create a TV show of your own? Come check out the basic editing class at MetroEast. Our trainers will give you the skills you need to flex your creative muscles. Using our state-of-the-art IMAX and Final Cut Pro 10, you can work with your own videos, add graphics and music, and even drop in cool special effects like green screen and slow motion. The best part? No experience is required. All ages and skill levels are welcome. Find out more on our website at metroeast.org.